Greetings everyone and welcome back to another video. We got some more news for you. A new lockbox will be coming soon, the Emerald Chain lockbox. We got a nice blog post here to announce it. The stats blog for the ship is not out yet, or at least not at the time of recording, but it will be coming soon. However, we did get to see some of the details on the live stream, so I have a little bit to talk about before then. And I'm usually pretty excited about lockboxes. If you watched my second most recent video, Legacy of the Lockbox Starship Traits, you'll know that lockboxes normally contain some unique exclusive starship traits, consoles, and personal traits, and some of them can be pretty good, and they're also very affordable compared to the starship that comes in a lockbox. And this lockbox does not disappoint. It has plenty of everything, as we will soon see. So let's go ahead and talk about the ship for a second, because it's the first thing here. Captains opening the Discovery Emerald Chain lockbox may find themselves fortunate enough to win the Emerald Chain Intel Juggernaut, so we're getting a new Juggernaut. It is a primary Intel secondary command ship. In a lot of ways, it is similar to the legendary Scimitar. So when we talk a little bit more about the ship, I would just say that for the same money, or less money really, unless you just get really lucky gambling, you can get the legendary Warbird bundle. The legendary Scimitar is going to give you a lot of that same sort of flavor in terms of how the ship is configured. And the legendary Derridex would give you one of the best traits in the game. They'd both be account unlocks, so I don't see anything super good about this ship that would justify the price tag. But it is now the largest ship in the game, I believe. It is pretty impressive looking. If you watched Star Trek Discovery Season 3, you would remember the ship from that. And like I said, the stats blog isn't out yet, so I can only tell you what I know about the ship from the live stream. The trait, the console just gives you a Cat 1 cannon energy weapon boost, which isn't too great. It has a clicky that does some physical damage, whatever. And then the trait, it looks really interesting. I don't want to talk about it too much until we get to the actual stats blog, which will be in another video. But just preliminarily, I will say I don't think the trait's going to be any good. I think it's going to be garbage, actually. I don't think anyone will want to use it. We're going to talk about that in a lot more detail when the time comes. But let's move on for now, because this is about the contents of the box in general. So we're also going to be getting a new console. So the time has come to feel the frequency forces of a new universal console in the Emerald Chain lockbox. The directed dilithium resonance destabilizer. And what does this do? Sympathetic resonance using frequencies derived from the Kelpian SAR, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Excites the dilithium in foes' ships, delivering ongoing radiation damage and disrupting the operation of their engines, accelerating their speed and disabling their ability to turn. Feedback from the resonance also enhances your own ship systems, providing additional speed and shield healing. Gives passive bonuses to flight turn rate and current and maximum shield subsystem power. Looks pretty mediocre to bad to me. I don't think this is going to be a must-have, but it should be affordable, so, feel free to pick it up anyway. And then not just one, but two new starship traits. The first trait is a cousin of the above console, the directed dilithium burn. This trait gives a chance to trigger a dilithium burst event anytime your enemy is destroyed, dealing great damage of plasma within a 4-kilometer radius. If you get exceptionally lucky, you may be able to deal enough damage to cause a chain reaction of destructive mayhem. Whether this is any good or not is going to depend on the numbers. If you're doing a build where you're gravity welling a whole bunch of enemies together, and then the smaller ones will die first, and then maybe they can explode and deal a bunch of damage to the other enemies. That sort of AoE damage inside of a gravity well is very, very potent in this game. So this could be good, but it'll be hard to tell. It is a starship trait. That's kind of a lot to ask, so it would have to be really, really good. Then we get the next one. Carrier wave shield hacking is the second available one. Activating tractor beam or intel ability causes the target's foe's shields to go offline for a brief period of time. This trait is also passively grants bonus damage to tractor beam, as the greater power required for invading foe subsystems leads itself to pulling on their hull. And this should be really, really good. We'll have to see. but taking shields offline is one of the most useful things you can do, especially for kinetic builds. And Tractor Beam is already one of the most used abilities in the game right now. So I think this has the potential to be extremely useful. Maybe a meta player, we'll just have to see. But it could be very, very good. However, it's only going to take the shields offline of the target you use Tractor Beam on. It's not going to take the shields of multiple targets off. And like we said a second ago, using grav-welling a bunch of enemies together and then doing AoE damage to them is very, very potent. It's not really going to improve those situations much. But for something like Attack Cube or whatever, I can definitely see this being part of a support build, absolutely, where people are rotating their tractor beams in order to keep the shields offline pretty much permanently. So I think this will definitely find a home, and I think it's going to be a very, very good trait. And because it is a lockbox trait, it's going to be quite affordable as well. And then we also have some other new stuff. The Emerald Chain Lockbox also has new space weapons, the Viridian Weapon Pack. These are plasma weapons that have a proc that can give you firing cycle haste. Those could be pretty good, and because plasma is one of like the three alliance types or whatever, you know, you got Phaser for Federation, Disruptor for Klingon, and plasma for Romulans, it's one of the most supported types. Often it's the one that's not used. Plasma and Disruptor usually get all the attention, but there is a lot of support out there for Plasma because it is one of the big three. So if the firing cycle haste off of this ends up being really good, then maybe that would be something that becomes a new meta player as well. I'm not holding my breath on it. We'll just have to see. And of course, there's some other new stuff as well. Universal Kit Module Hurricane Wave Device. There are many spectacular technologies in the 32nd century. The Hurricane Wave Device is one of them, being able to send out an unexpected cone of kinetic force that makes quick work of the forces of gravity and foes that get caught in it. Resulting blast sends your enemies backwards to impact on surfaces. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what it looks like. I'm not really that big into kit modules. Then we have an Engineering Kit Module, Repurposed Escape Pod. Capture a target foe in an escape pod, which seems like it might be fun to see the visuals on, fling them into a nearby foe, or failing that up in the air and down again when the escape pod collides with the ground. It detonates for kinetic damage. That could be a fun one to use. Scient Kit Module. We're getting lots of stuff in this box. Interrogation Gas. Sounds very funny. Fire a canister of mild nerve agent that overwhelms the internal chemistry of the targets, causing fragile hold. Fragile holds are not very good. And some other effects as well. And then we have the Tactical Kit Module, Freelance Security Detachment, beams in out of alliance partners to assist in providing security guarantees in a ground scenario. They will fight for you for a moderate surge duration, so summoning pets, that could be pretty fun as well. Then we have Wrens Wins Raider HUD Kit Frame, unlocking both a costume piece and a kit frame. This device replicates the look of Raider Wins helmet. Must be a Season 4 thing that I haven't seen Season 4 yet. As a costume, as a kit frame, it allows the wielder to retrieve desperately needed materials from defeated foes, Grants bonus to health and damage, which can stack up to 5 times. At maximum stacks, instead, there is a chance to trigger a powerful captain ability based on the profession of the kit frame. So that could be a fun one as well. We have some new duty officers. A cadre of eclectic duty officers are available. There's a shields expert, chance when using a shield heal to gain an additional temporary shield health pool. Talented Smuggler, chance when using battery, deploy turret, or distress call device to trigger evasive maneuvers 3. That would be really good, actually. I don't know if it'll be good enough to take up one of your 6 duty officer slots. That's a very good effect. Weapons Expert, chance when activating a rank 1 or 2 beam or cannon firing mode to activate the rank 2 or 3 version of it instead. So there's a chance you'll get an upgraded version. That could help mitigate some of the problems with the Emerald Lockbox Juggernaut ship trait. I don't think it's enough to actually overcome the problems with that trait, which there are many, but I think that's part of the idea here, is that this is designed to work in conjunction with that trait. And then 6 new captain traits are available. This is amazing. This is one of the best boxes we've had in a long time, at least in terms of quantity of new stuff like this. We get 3 new ground traits, 3 new space traits. Courier's Reflexes. When combat starts, receive a large bonus to critical chance for a modded duration. Gone Before Security Arrives. Receive a bonus to run speed and recharge kit modules and captain abilities. And then Rogue's Gallery. Damaging an enemy marks them for a modded duration. Seconds. Marked enemies have a damage resistance rating penalty for each damage type they receive during the marked duration. I'm not really into ground stuff. I couldn't tell you how good these are. The space ones are sort of similar, but they're space version. So courier weapon capacitors, when combat starts, receive a large. We'll see what large means. Bonus to critical chance for a moderate duration. That could be good, to be honest. As a personal space trade, depending on how much crit chance it is and how long it lasts, that could be really good. That may make its way into the meta list. We have a timely exit at the end of combat. At the end of combat, no one's going to use that. But you get some flight speed, maneuverability, and ability recharge. Friends in unusual places. When abilities which summon allies, this seems like it's going to be really fun, by the way. Consoles, buffs, abilities, hanger pets, captain abilities, and distress beacons recover their recharge faster. So if you're doing any kind of a pet build, a carrier build, that's going to be a really fun one, I think. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on it just for fun, if nothing else. There are many other prizes within the Emerald Chain Lockbox for players to acquire, such as the Juggernaut of Vanity Shield, R&D packs, blah, blah, all the usual garbage. They didn't add much to the lobby store, but they did add an anti-proton duress pistol, and they added some new armor as well, the Emerald Chain security gear. And this eclectic ensemble is a common sight in Emerald Chain installations. The armor provides balance protection with a lean towards physical threats. Activating the armor's special ability reduces the recharge time of weapons' secondary fire. So that's it. That's the new Emerald Chain Lockbox. 6 new personal traits, 2 new starship traits, a new console, a new ship, new stuff in the lobby store. I am absolutely looking forward to transferring some keys over to Tribble, taking a look at the ship, doing a review of it for you guys, and then opening some or buying stuff off the exchange to get all of the new goodies that are in the lockbox, all the traits and stuff. I'm definitely going to be playing around with those. So there should be some videos coming in the future in regards to all of that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.